All right.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the antagonist and the protagonist real quick? Because like I feel like I didn't believe him as being this like
protagonist
savior, like Bond film. Like he didn't. We didn't have enough time. He
shoots the lady at the end. Like he's clearly not a good dude.
We didn't have enough time with him, and then also the villain. I felt like he was just like, oh, I'm really sad, so I'm gonna kill the whole world. Like it didn't. Like he didn't have another level to him either.
So, really sad, so I'm gonna kill the whole world.
His whole thing was that he was in this unmapped, hidden Russian city from the Soviet. That's where he grew up. And
you love this guy, Andre. I have a tattoo.
I'm just trying. I'm just trying to think about.
You can see he was from.
I'm just trying
the
to,
Russian town.
I'm just trying to verbally process the.
He had a rough childhood.
The backstory. Like why he was who he was in the movie.
All right, but let's be real. Are we ever going to see a movie in a movie theater ever again?
That's what I was going with this. It's like, what's the state of movies now?
This is weird too because there's so many different things going on. One, I think that Nolan is trying to make movies something different. Like I don't think that he presented this as like, oh, your traditional beginning, middle, and end movie. I think he's trying to like movies are more like experiential puzzles, and they're like like
he says that. He says he wants his films to be an experience.
He's like trying to change the form. You know what I mean? Which, whether you agree or disagree, I feel like he's doing it.
You said you were the only one in the theater.
Yes.
I was the only one in the parking lot. My theater.
So you have this weird experimental movie that's supposed to be like the big deal at a time that is already the most bizarre time to be living. Like the two collided in this like bizarre perfect storm. And so I went later in its runtime. You guys went in the beginning. It was completely empty. It was just me and my friend in this giant 300-seat theater. What was it like for you guys?
Same.
Smaller theater for us. I didn't do like the big IMAX style one. I just went to a regular thing, but there's no one else. It was a 7:00 showing, and the latest, and I was surprised. I thought it was a mistake. I think the latest one was 7:15. So nothing past like that 7, 8.
This was already the way things were going. I feel like with like streaming, I've expected to sort of take over.
Well, Trolls,
theaters,
right?
But
wasn't it Trolls that went, instead of going to theaters right when COVID hit, they went to streaming, and
everyone
Trolls
was like world tour.
It went straight to streaming instead of theaters.
Yeah. Like, but I'm saying even like the last couple of years,
it's been trending.
Like theaters have been struggling.
It makes sense. It's the same argument of like, well, do I really want to go to a football game and like
just to be able to pause to go to the bathroom or get a snack? Oh my gosh!
But
like
never summer movies. Summer blockbusters were always still like drew the crowd, and that was why the studios just wanted to make those. That's it.
Yeah. So it's actually possibly more hopeful because it's like, hey, you can choose to watch whatever you want. You don't have to wait till the next like big Marvel movie to have people screaming in the theater with you. It's like the appeal is not there.
The last really cool experience I think was what's the movie where they were completely silent the whole time? Where they did sign language and they couldn't speak.
Oh yeah,
Quiet Place.
Oh, I always want to call it something
sign
else.
Language.
Silent Place or something.
Silent Place. What was the movie where they were?
Is that the one with
there was a
Jim?
Yeah, Jim from The Office.
I didn't see that movie.
Yeah, that was great. It was just so interesting being in a theater where everyone is quiet and there was one person with like a bag of chips, and it was just so frustrating. You're like, shut up, but you don't want to say shut up because everyone is completely silent in the theater together. It was like, I don't know.
That was not my experience.
What I wonder is, will this be a Band-Aid where because of COVID, because people were out of the theaters, that it's like almost kind of like ushering in a new time quicker? Like it's a catalyst to whatever was going, the direction that we were going with people. Now, I'm not saying I want to see cinemas shut down. I don't. I love cinemas.
You guys still have your movie pass?
There's a bunch of other companies that came out with different versions of that. Yeah,
I had Cinemia, and it was. Do you remember that, Cody? It was $7 a month.
Well, now it's like the companies that have the screens are putting them out. Like Showcase has theirs.
Yeah, the AMC switched to having their own. So basically what happened was MoviePass came out, and we here all got it, and it was $9.99 a month, and you could see up
Unlimited.
to a movie a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we would go to the
7
movies.
days a week.
And you know how many movies I went to during that year's subscription?
3.
Like 2.
That was my thing. I was about to do it, and then I realized I was looking back at when I go to movies. I'm like, I never don't go to the movies because it's too expensive. I go because I want to see the movie, and then I look. I'm like, how many movies am I going to go see this year? Probably 2. Like, because I don't care.
It was worth it at first, at the very start, because I was spending less. If I just saw one a month, it was worth it.
Yeah.
So I thought, wow, I'll keep it. And then a couple months that I didn't use it, they made that money back.
Do we know the ratio of what's being bought on the big streaming platforms, like shows to movies? Because it seems like the theater, like the old model, was like holding on, where people still wanted to try to get the Hollywood system was trying to get the movie into theater, or they wouldn't greenlight something unless they thought it would have a limited run and then go to streaming. But like, I'm wondering now, can't you just couldn't there be a model where you're not going to the cinemas because people aren't going to the cinemas enough, but there's still enough of a financial model, like you see movies go to streaming, but they're usually like not movies I really want to see. I still haven't seen what's the De Niro, The Irishman? Oh wait, no, was it The Irishman? Still haven't seen that. So maybe I'm. Maybe there are examples of films that are like classic cinema type films.
Are you saying that you still are feeling like a lot of like Netflix and Amazon and Hulu originals don't have that same blockbuster draw? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, not so much I'm trying to say, like, I would be okay with watching a really good movie at home. I would be okay with that. I prefer to go to the cinema, but if the whole world is just saying, no, we're not going to the cinema, and the business model isn't there, what I'm wondering is, what are the studios that are greenlighting good content for streaming? Because it seems like the good movies, at least back when, were going to the theater, cinemas, or maybe it's just what I was noticing. There's a lot of crap that went to the cinema too, and then the really bad movies straight to streaming, and I'm like, why does it have to be that far in extreme? Like,
no, it's just I don't think so. I think it's been like all across the board, just more content every year, and it's been like mostly just bad movies across the board, and once in a while there'd be a great
so it's just
Amazon
what I'm
original.
seeing.
I mean, the movie that me and Jamin went to see with Joaquin Phoenix, You Were Never Really Here,
great movie,
was like honestly like still in like my top 10 at this point. Like I was, that movie, like I don't know why, it just like blew me away, and that's an Amazon original. Amazon is like, I feel like consistently like able to do something a little more, I don't want to say risky, but like will be a little more surprising than I
so that'd be a good case study to know about, because it's an Amazon original, but it had a limited theater release. Well, you guys saw it in theaters.
Yeah, a very, very small theater in Brookline, which those are the ones that I think are going to probably be like state funded or something, because they're going to be like landmarks. They're not going to want to close these things because there's nothing else they could be. Like these big showcase cinemas, like they can plow, like it's just all there's no like historical site there. It's just like just bang it down and make it an Old Navy. But like an old theater like that, where it's like, it's just like a big movie screen. It's not even like a giant, it's like going, it's like sitting in your living room. It's like cozy, I love that.
Why not just sit in your living room?
Well, no, I'm saying, obviously great. Like I actually like watching movies.
It's just funny because now
just as much.
You look at how good shows are, and maybe this is what you were saying a second ago, but it's just such a shift, because I think of when I was a kid and you'd sit down and watch, wow, we're going to watch The Lord of the Rings 3 in a row. Like, that's insane. And it's like now, like, I feel like when my kids are older, I'll be like, this is a movie. It's like one episode of a series, but there's nothing after and nothing before. It's really weird because they don't tell you anything more than this
That's
one
all
episode.
there is.
That's all you're going to have. I feel like now it's like, well, why is there not 3, 4, 5
And don't get me
seasons?
wrong, I think great shows are awesome. Like, but it's when the shows became more like movies that we started saying they were amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, what I think there's like the cinematic look, but then there's also the like the desire to not have to wrap it up after 1 hour every episode. You know, like I think slowly we've been moving towards. I just finished the return of Twin Peaks, and so I was looking up stuff about it, and a lot of people mark it as like the first like the show that changed TV, because it started to make it so they don't wrap things up every hour. Like they don't even wrap up things up the first season. Like you have to keep watching and like solve the mystery. And it's also shot not just like reverse shot wide, like walking through a hallway. Like it's actually shot in a very like cinematic lighting kind of like unique way, Dutch angles and like all this stuff. And before that you had shows that were just like, it's just like you just had it on in the background.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder if it's a lot of the same. I mean, I guess we would have to find this out, but I just think it's a lot of the, it's like what you said about Marvel. You get into this, the studios say this is working, this is what's going to happen, we're going to keep doing this, and then you have people that aren't satisfied, or filmmakers that come through. I think a lot, like HBO or other services where they want better quality, and then it starts to work, and once it starts to work, they keep replicating that, and then it ripples and ripples and ripples, and now it's like the normal. What's next? I don't know.
Well, I think no matter what, it's going to be what works financially.
That's where I'm going. That's like that's why I'm saying like what model. It feels like we're between models, and it feels like. Well, have you guys has anyone seen any Apple TV Plus content?
No.
I don't have Apple TV, so.
What was the show?
I haven't tried it either, but I'm interested to, because they pulled in a lot of good directors, writers, whatever. I'm like, maybe
was The Mandalorian not Apple TV?
Disney.
That was Disney. It was Disney Plus.
And you've seen all the commercials for what's the Quibi?
Yeah.
Has anyone done that?
No idea.
Some of the Reno 911. There seemed like actually, at first they were all trash looking, terrible. Then they started to come out with like, wow, I would actually watch that. But I don't know anyone who has it.
I mean, if you look, I think if the question is cinema, the traditional cinema experience going to endure? I don't think it is. Otherwise, I don't think you'd have all of the biggest companies in the world putting as much time and energy into streaming as they are. And I think if there was a chance for the standard cinema experience to endure, it went away when COVID happened. I definitely think there's a good signs point to yes on that.
But is this the death of cinema?
And I actually, I thought I would really hate that that's the case. But I think it's been so gradual over time that I'm like, okay, well, if that is the way it is, then I just need a good source of great. I don't want to like sort. My biggest thing is we sit down and we're pawing through Netflix and we're looking for anything.
Please, something new.
And I'm like, something new, something good, something we can all watch as a family. I'm like, that's killing me.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna make it?
And I go right out into Amazon and try the same thing there.
I wonder if there's a model where they take the cinema experience, like in terms of accessibility and like the money part. I'm just thinking like if there was like a Showtime platform, for example, you just take a movie theater chain, and like you can't watch the movie.
You mean
until
Showcase?
It's Showcase Cinemas, whatever. Sorry, Showtime's the channel. But you can't watch a movie until it's released on their platform. You watch it at your house, but you have to buy it. Like it's like literally recreating it, but you're watching it at home. I wonder if that would work. But like and then it's only available for a while until it does migrate to the other platforms or something. I don't know, but I don't think that people are going to be going to theaters in droves like they used to.
I think that there's still going to be theaters. It's just going to be something that they already know it's not going to be the main moneymaker, and there's just going to be a select few people like Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino who are like so hell-bent on like, there's a theater, like IMAX, like 70 millimeter. These people who are like purists, I really think they're going to fight for their like theater spots, and those are the movies that they're the only ones that keep me going anyway. So like going to the theater, and I don't know, I'm hopeful that that's gonna stay. Like subscribe, hit the bell, right here, slap that subscribe, smack it, smash it, subscribe.